this is the first time we've actually really never done like a road show of events and meetups, and we just started doing this because a lot of COVID kept everybody in, and the bear market in 2018 kind of changed the whole dynamics in crypto. So this is actually a really fun time to be meeting new people where our community is. All the people that follow us, support us, are curious about our technology. We have a large presence in Europe, so we're starting to make more of a splash. I do think we've been a large secret amongst most in the crypto universe, which is really exciting. So to explain Constellation, I think you kind of need to understand that crypto is not just about the currency, it's not just about the blockchain technology, it's really about the people that follow this technology. These are early adopters for the next phase of the internet, called Web3. And in large, Constellation is an ecosystem that includes technological components. It includes a community of people and users. It also includes a socioeconomic element or an economic element of a cryptocurrency. And these kind of three major pieces are what really come together to create this ecosystem with the ability for people to build businesses on top of us, and for users to find new businesses to back and support. And in large, this is kind of the vision that the stakeholder economy has come out with. And I think it's a fascinating revolution and evolution of Web 2.0 that's happening, where everybody plays a role into building the next phase of this internet. And these stakeholders are reimagining how we own things. So in our ecosystem, a stakeholder is somebody that helps us govern the network. They help us operate and secure the network by being node operators. They become investors and invest in different aspects of our project. And these major components are really what make us an ecosystem, and why an ecosystem is very different than just a traditional business. Yeah, 4 of us started the ecosystem, and we all represent different perspectives of the business. Well, actually, there's 5 of us, and each perspective is kind of indicative of what it takes to build an ecosystem. It's not just technology, but we do have our CTO is the one that designed DAG and the architecture behind Constellation, myself, the CEO, and putting business excellence first. Then we have our other co-founders that are focused on crypto strategy, enterprise strategy. How do we become the welcome committee for enterprises to easily navigate this amazing new technology? And then a core component being the community, which makes us 5 of us as the founders. It's fascinating to be part of Silicon Valley, and a lot of Silicon Valley kind of rejected this technology. They focused mainly on investing in Web 2.0, SaaS-based businesses. But with these new components, there's a lot of unknowns. But what's fascinating about building this technology in San Francisco was that San Francisco is known for innovation. Yes. And I think in a lot of ways, Silicon Valley has lost its edge. And they hadn't focused really on crypto.
And now they are getting it. No?
They're starting to, but the whole world caught on to this way faster than Silicon Valley. And that's just, we start to see these evolutions take place in different ways. Yeah, the crypto markets are exciting because we're facing potential regulation. We're facing new on-ramps. 3 years ago or 4 years ago, the on-ramps were so difficult to get involved in crypto. It's now becoming much easier. You have IPOs like Coinbase that are happening that are really kind of making this more mainstream. So yes, the crypto's always been volatile. That's kind of the fun aspect of it. That's what gets people excited and wake up in the morning. Can they beat the system? But really what we're seeing here is we're on the cusp of an inflection curve happening in the space. That inflection curve is around adoption. How easy is it? How user-friendly is it to navigate the cryptocurrency? People are excited. They want to learn about it. We're at a fascinating point that people thought 4 years ago it was that, but that was just the beginning. Right now what we're seeing, yes, volatility, but volatility is coming in with new people every day, excited to take their vision as entrepreneurs, to look at passive income approaches and really be a part of this socioeconomic movement. Yeah, I think it's when you're investing into a crypto project, you have the opportunity to redefine ownership in an investment. Most people that are investing in cryptocurrencies are not actual investors because they're not buying into equity or a security. But what comes with crypto is you get a voice. You get a voice to help change the state of a project. You can help influence a project to build things that matter to the individual. And so we're redefining, and this is kind of what I was talking about, the stakeholder economy. We're really evolving what it means to have ownership and how you participate in your investment. How do you keep track of it? That you actually have a voice, that your voice could actually show an increase in value to your investment, as well as providing your knowledge to a company that otherwise didn't have access to it. So I think I think for people, the reason to invest is because you get more of an opportunity to see your knowledge and your difference that it can have into the entire space. I break down our users into 3 different categories. The first one is our community. So these are people that join our Telegram, our Discord, our Twitter conversations, and they help us evangelize our message. But they also help provide feedback to our technology and company. What can we be doing different? And that becomes a huge part. So we do a lot. We build a lot of solutions out for our community. The second component is building out products for entrepreneurs. How can entrepreneurs, if you have a business idea, how can you evolve it into the crypto space? Can you add a cryptocurrency to it? Can you add an NFT to it that might expand its sales potential and reach? Which I think is what is fascinating about crypto, is that it's an autonomous bounty or incentive that can be ubiquitous, can be anywhere. So how can you weave that into your entrepreneur story? And then the third major component is institutions and enterprise organizations that can use this technology to be more competitive in the space and attract developers. Developers are moving into the Web3 world at a rate of 100% month-over-month increase. So for major tech companies and enterprises and brands to be competitive in the space, they need to figure out how to use this technology. Yeah, I think I also break this down to a couple buckets. The first one, I always like to do that to make everything simple for people, right? What do you walk away? The rule of 3s, right? So one of the things that advertising has largely missed out on is the actual customer that gets served an ad. It's actually a very not friendly experience to see advertising, but yet it's kind of the evil that we embrace to use a free application, or the evil that you as a business might buy advertising to get marketability. However, if you bring in the user, the one that's getting shown an ad, and you use autonomous payments that require cryptocurrency and can leverage blockchain technology, now you start to bring the user into the equation. Give them a reward for seeing an ad. Give them a voice on whether this ad was good. The second major thing, the bucket in the advertising world, is transparency around click fraud. We see an impression fraud. We see impression and click fraud happen every day. Well, creating an immutable record on the blockchain could give us more insight onto how advertising being conducted versus just the word of an exchange or trade desk. And I think in large, those 2 aspects can really help transform this industry by bringing transparency to the space and more accountability to all parties in advertising, and then opening that to the end consumer. And you can only really open it up to the end consumer through automated payments with crypto. Yeah, no, absolutely. And a lot of the things I just outlined around the advertising industry is being solved by a company that's building on Constellation's platform, an ecosystem called Alchemy Exchange. So Alchemy Exchange is attempting to solve all those buckets. They're going in and going to the digital advertising world and say, hey, we could do a better job of doing this. They're providing more transparency around real-time bidding ad exchanges. They're adding the individual user to receive rewards. And they're also adding NFTs as a component. Using NFTs, you can actually get rid of cookie-based tracking, and you can actually use a cookie to see where people, or you can make an NFT, essentially a cookie, that can be traded to different advertisers. Hey, this is what this is the person's history. Here's what they've gotten involved in. It'll serve a much broader use, while also they're really kind of being the shepherds for the digital advertising industry to come into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. So once again, we need these stewards in the world that are able to articulate the technology as it pertains to their industry, and Alchemy is doing a great job of that. Well, crypto, 2 weeks in crypto feels like a year. So our goal is really, in kind of one of the angles with advertising, is we want to create an immutable record of all data. So data appears everywhere. Every action you take on your phone collects data. The different websites you do, down to foot traffic that we can measure on a door. And we want to attach bounties and cryptocurrency bounties to those rewards, which will create a larger digital footprint of data and make data and provide ownership of data to the individual user. I think a lot of the shift that we're seeing from Web 2 to Web 3 is that we had this thing called the attention economy. Google, Facebook basically mined our data. They made money off of all of our data, and they sold us goods and services and maybe improved products. But as a culture, as a world culture, we're starting to question whether that incentive is enough or that value exchange is enough. And so what we hope to envision is really to create a large global footprint of data that people voluntarily give in exchange for money. So people can actually start to see that, where we went from Airbnb and Uber allowing people to be entrepreneurs, be a driver, or put their house up for rent and make money off of something that costs them money. We believe that data and your digital footprint across all your browsing can actually become a source of income for you.
Okay, thank you very much for this very interesting interview,
Javier.
and hope you have a lot of exit.
Thanks, Javier. This is great.